So there's two things that I'm afraid of when I'm swimming in the open water, and the first thing is sharks, and I can't see any evidence of that out there at the moment. And the second thing is drowning. And I want to focus particularly on some techniques that you can do to keep yourself safe when you're swimming in this type of body of water. Okay, so the number one thing that you can learn how to do is learn how to swim. We conduct one-on-one classes here that you can stand up, and then secondly, you can practice your swimming. One of the main ways to tell if you can swim in the open water is if you're able to put your head in the water, you can breathe and blood bubbles in the water, and you're not freaking out. Many people who say they can swim but they really are dangerous in their swimming is that they have their head out of the water, they're thrashing their arms about, and they're getting super tired. To be able to swim, you need to be able to confidently stay in a body of water where you can't touch the ground and you're not getting tired. And I strongly recommend that you learn how to do it. It doesn't take long, a few lessons, and you'll be able to easily be safe in a body out there where you can't touch the ground. The second thing that we recommend is that you swim in a group. Don't go out on your own out there, and if you're going to come to the bay or a place looking for a swim, look for people who are also swimming. So one of the other points that the Royal Life Saving Club raised in terms of things you can do to prevent drowning is to wear a life jacket, which obviously is a great idea, but if you're swimming it's not practical to wear a life jacket. So the next best thing is firstly wear a wetsuit. That adds extra buoyancy and provides some help, but then is to have one of these things which is called a swim coat. So this is in its deflated way. I can wrap it up nice and easy and carry it with me, but basically you blow into the hole and inflate it, and then you attach it to yourself. And so I'm just going to do that now for you. I originally bought this because my fear was getting a cramp or something out in the water, and it definitely does give me something to hold on to, or just give me a little bit of buoyancy when I'm not moving in the water. Like for example, if I want to do a cramp, if I want to stretch out a cramp and so on. Now honestly, that's never happened, but it's definitely given me some comfort. Over the time, as I've learnt some of the techniques that lifesavers do, I've come to appreciate that if I'm wearing this not just for myself but to help others, it's much better than if I'm trying to help others without this. So one of the tips with lifeguards is that if someone's crying, help me, I'm drowning, if you swim over to them, very likely they're going to grab you by the shoulders and push you underwater. And there's so many situations where the person going to help ends up drowning, as well as the person who was drowning in the first place. So you get double tragedy. The technique you're meant to do if you're on a paddleboard or if you've got some equipment is that you throw the equipment to the person who's drowning, or you place the paddleboard between yourself and the person that's drowning, so they grab the board and not you, and so therefore you're safe. What you can do, if you've got one of these things and someone next to you is in trouble and is gasping for air and you're afraid that they might grab you, is that you can pass this across. This can be a barrier between yourself and the person who's drowning. They can grab this, they can grab the strap, they're now safe, and so are you. So if you're serious about swimming in a group and you want to up the safety levels for everybody in the group, I strongly recommend that you get a swim toe and implement that as part of your daily practice, even when you're swimming in a group. Another point that's raised is to know how to do CPR. And I'm part of a swim group called Melbourne Open Water Swim Club, and I'm so proud to be part of this group because they encourage and offer free training for people to do CPR. So if you're thinking that I want to swim and I want to be available to help others who happen to be swimming nearby, learn how to do CPR, keep the training up, and it's great to join a club where that schedule for training and keeping the ongoing practice of it is maintained. More importantly, when I learned how to do CPR, I learned that a defibrillator was the best way to keep someone alive or to recover from some sort of unconscious activity. So yes, the CPR, the job is to keep that person alive until a defib gets there. So know where your defibrillator is. Again, I'm part of a club who actually has their own defib, so it's in the van. Well, another important thing is to know the conditions, and today it's a winter's day. You can probably hear the wind in the mic, but look at how still the water is. If you're going to swim and you want to be safe, choose the right condition. Hi, Future Greg here to point out signs as a great way to know the conditions before you swim. In a previous shot, there were these signs in the background to warn of waves and deep holes. And you can also look out for these other signs to help you to decide if it is safe or not to enter the water. Back to the video. You're listening to this video and going, yep, I'm doing all that. Well, the final step that can really help us prevent drowning is for people who know how to swim safely in the open water to pass their knowledge on to others. Join a club, look out for people who are open to hearing your advice and pass the knowledge on. If you can't find a club nearby you, at the Melbourne Open Water Swimming Club, we're looking for people who can provide that sort of training, because we're designing ourselves to be that sort of gateway for people inexperienced or fearful of the open water and how to swim and enjoy this lovely environment safely and securely. And so that we have basically no one drowning out here in this bay, because it's too beautiful and wonderful for such a tragedy to happen. Hello. Did you know that it's World Drowning Prevention Day on Thursday? So I thought I'd do a video about how not to drown. Glad you made it back to shore.